Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all doing? Okay. Now, in the first social reformer that we discussed was Shah Waliullah. In the previous classes, I discussed about Shah Waliullah. Now, again, we are going to continue with it and we are going to talk about second social reformer, that is Syed Ahmed Shaheed Barelvi. Now, what we are going to study about Syed Ahmed Shaheed Barelvi, by the end you will be able to know that how jihad movement was formed, what was the importance of jihad movement, what were its success and failures, and how the Muslim reformers helped the Muslims of the subcontinent in reviving Islam and fighting for their own rights. If these people would not have helped the Muslims of the subcontinent, history would have been very different. How they uplift the morale of the Muslims, how they help the Muslims, come out of the sufferings. They played a vital role for the Muslims of the subcontinent. Okay. We are going to discuss about the biographical detail of Syed Ahmed Shaheed Barelvi, his belief, his work, and his importance. Now, Syed Ahmed Shaheed Barelvi was born in town of Rai in Barelvi, and in 1786, Barelvi. In 1786, he was very young when his father died, and Shaheed Barelvi always had that, thing of jihad in him. Jihad does not mean that you always pick up a sword, fight. No. Jihad can be done in many different ways to protect yourself from doing many things which are incorrect and also to help people around you. But he was a man of action. His education, he studied from the same madrasa where Shah Waliullah studied, Madrasa Ibrahimiya. Um, he was inspired by Shah Abdul Aziz and he stayed with him for 2 years and studied, and he left from there after 2 years. During his stay over there, he learned Persian language, he studied Quran and Hadith in depth. Now, by reading this, that he had the knowledge of Quran and Hadith, he studied Persian language. This teaches us that, the main basic for us is to understand the Quran and Hadith very well. When you are going to study Quran, you will understand many things from there. The purpose of your life is there. And he studied Persian. Why Persian? Because that was the language of the time. So it is very important for us also. If we study different languages, that is not at all cheating on any sort of on your religion. If you know different languages, you are able to communicate. You're able to understand and you can make people also understand. See, Shah Waliullah translated Quran into Persian because that was the need of the day. Something that is important. He went to Makkah and performed Hajj and stayed there for 2 years. He got into contact, he studied there, he met different scholars, and he understood and he acquired great knowledge and was inspired by that thinking. See, when you meet different people, when you stay with them, when you get in connection, because when you are getting education, you meet different people. You understand their perspective. You go in depth. And when he understood and he was inspired by their thoughts and idea, he came back where he belonged, to the subcontinent, and he devoted his life for the revival of the Muslims of the subcontinent. So he can uplift them. Their social and political, religious reforms were instilled, and he worked on them. See, Shaheed Barelvi was a man of action. On the other hand, Shah Waliullah was a man of words. Shaheed Barelvi believed that all the time and every time words will not help. Sometimes you need to do do something to help yourself and help others. So, his stay in Arabia, he came into contact with many scholars and acquired knowledge of the various movements of the world of Islam. He was inspired with these new thoughts and ideas, and when he returned, sorry, I've already discussed, I think, yeah. Okay. He returned, he devoted himself to the religious, social reforms and preparation of jihad. He believed that we should get up for our rights. If we want this, we want the sufferings of the Muslims of the subcontinent to finish, then we need to pick up a sword. We need to fight for our rights. Looking from far, looking at things that, oh, something is going on wrong, and this is not something right that is happening with the Muslims or with your own self. This is the weakest of the faith. How can you let people come and suppress you for no reason? Yes, if you're doing something wrong and if somebody says something, understandable. How can some people come and tell you that you're not going to follow your religious obligations? Nobody has the right, and you also don't have the right to tell someone that they will not follow their religious belief. So he believed that the freedom of Muslims could only come as a result of armed struggle. Again, it was the need of the time. So, to fight against the evils that were corrupting the Muslim society, the Islamic society, we had to get up. The condition at that time in the subcontinent was that these people were suppressing the Muslims. These people were not letting us follow our religious beliefs. See, politically and economically, Muslims were very backward. They did not have anything. We were not just, it was the most important thing, we were holding the book of Allah. But because we were living with these people, we had forgotten our norms. Our own culture, our own religion was getting mixed up. Now, what happened that Ranjit Singh, who was ruling over there, he stopped, he banned Azan. He did not let Muslims follow their religious beliefs. Religious freedom was taken away from us. We were not allowed to keep, beard. Muslim mosques were turned into temples. So you can imagine what Muslims were going through. So this showed very well that words were not helping only. We have to pick up a sword to fight against those people who were not letting us have our religion there, not letting us follow our religious beliefs. The main purpose of jihad was to fight for the protection of the Muslim culture, religion, to separate them, to have their own identity. We needed to have our own identity. They were suppressing us. They were taking away everything from us. We wanted to tell them that we are there to submit to the will of Allah and follow the Sunnah. Jihad movement was not just to pick up a sword and kill someone. We were there for other Muslim brothers also to tell them. This was the purpose also, that we have to tell them that we have to submit to Allah and we have to follow the Sunnah of our beloved Nabi. The objective of Mujahideen. We are one. We are united. They were teaching the Muslims to live according to Islam. And you know, when jihad movement, when we were preparing, we subcontinent was known as Darul Harb by Shah Abdul Aziz. Why? What do you mean by Darul Harb? Darul Harb is a place where you cannot offer your Jummah namaz and you cannot offer your Eid namaz. So now what was the main thing? We have to make subcontinent a place where we can offer a Eid namaz, where we can offer a Jummah namaz. So that was very clear that we need to pick up our swords. We have to bring back Muslims back. So Shaheed Barelvi started off jihad movement with a very small group of people. Many people got inspired. He wrote a letter to Ranjit Singh that let the Muslims of the subcontinent have their freedom. He said, first, he invited him towards Islam. Second, we asked them to pay jizya. Third, if they do not agree, we call for a war. Now, Ranjit Singh at that time thought that Muslims are very limited in number. You know, very small group was there in the way. He said, nothing will happen, let them come. But we went there, we fought with the Sikhs, and we won the battle. Again, a second battle, first at Okara, second at Hazara. We won. Now, when Ranjit Singh saw from far that these people are having success and a very small group has turned into 80,000 people, then he said that this is not something good. He got a bit scared. He got a bit, that we have to do something about the Muslims. We have to do something about this jihad movement. So he sent a traitor named Yar Muhammad. See, Shaheed Barelvi was a man who brought all the Muslims under the banner of Islam, under one flag. From the very beginning, we know that the love of Shahada in Muslims is so much that if Muslims go on the battlefield, nobody can stop them. And a win-win situation is there if the Muslims get united. And how much the non-Muslims also know that they knew that if they are going to get united, definitely Ranjit Singh is going to lose. So what Ranjit Singh did, he sent a traitor named as Yar Muhammad. Yar Muhammad came and he said to the Muslims of jihad movement, he said to the people, forces, that jihad movement is un-Islamic. When he said that, we really got upset. We got upset and we made Shaheed Barelvi as the Imam. There were many sectarian groups at that time in the subcontinent. There were many people belonging to different religion not different religion I'm going to say, same religion, sectarian difference. in these forces. So we all made Shaheed Barelvi the Imam and we said our prayers behind him, telling them we are one, forgetting about all the differences. And then we said that we are going to, matlab Shaheed Barelvi, whatever is going to say is going to be the final word. We showed them the unity, one vision and goal. But obviously, you all know there's always someone who doesn't understand. And these forces, Pathans were the people who did not understand, and misunderstanding was created. So we got divided. Now, here, when we got divided and we started fighting within, Shaheed Bareilly got upset. He kept on explaining them, we kept on discussing things. But was this the purpose of Jihad movement? Was this the purpose of Mujahideens? Going back, if you see, was this the purpose? What was the objective? What was the purpose? That we are going to be one. We are going to follow Islamic laws. This was not the purpose. That we are going to fight against those people who are going to suppress the Muslims. We are going to protect the Muslims. We are going to protect Islam. But what happened? The Pathans did not understand. They got divided. Now he established his headquarters at Peshawar, right? Now, first headquarters were at Peshawar, then Naushera, then Panjshir. Why we were shifting? Because we were obviously spreading. But then what happened? That he said that I am not here to fight my own Muslim brothers. He said that this movement was to fight the invasions, to fight others, not to fight my own brothers. So he said, I'm going towards Kashmir to liberate Hazara. So he left from there. Now Yar Muhammad died, and after Yar Muhammad, Sultan Muhammad was appointed by Shaheed Barelvi. As Yar Muhammad was with Ranjit Singh, same went with Sultan Muhammad. When they went towards Balakot, now when he was so disappointed, when he was so much hurt, right, he left because the Pathans were not understanding. So they decided to leave, and their efforts against the Sikhs in Hazara because they wanted to liberate the Muslims. Okay. Now he stationed at Balakot, and it was a valley. It was a small town near Kagan Valley. You all know Kagan, right? Now, when we were there, and as I told you, Yar Muhammad was a traitor. In the same way, Sultan Muhammad was also a traitor. Sultan Muhammad told the secret route of the Mujahideens to Ranjit Singh. Then he attacked us, and it was an unknown attack. We didn't know about it. When he attacked us, we fought. We fought till our last breath. First, obviously, there was a chaos. Then we gathered our vigor and we kept on fighting. Shaheed Barelvi was martyred, his right hand Ismail Khan was martyred. 600 Muslims were killed. And it was because of who? It was because of a traitor. We will always lose if there will be backstabbers within us. There's no one who can stop the winning of the Muslims if they get up for the right cause. Ranjit Singh sent traitors in our forces. Now, Yar Muhammad died, who tried to poison Shaheed Barelvi twice, but he survived. Now, he was a martyr, he was a Shaheed, he fought in the Battle of Balakot. Now, it was because of Sultan Muhammad who gave the secret to the Sikhs and they attacked us. You can see from here that how weak Ranjit Singh and his forces were. They needed a traitor, a spy. Within our forces, and our force became weak because of whom? Because of our own one traitor who cheated on us. The local Muslims fight for the Sikhs and led them through a secret road in close proximity to the Mujahideens camp. Sultan Muhammad and his people. So in Battle of Balakot in 1831, Shaheed Barelvi was killed. So jihad movement did not just, you cannot say that it ended in a way, but yes, the main person who started of jihad movement. First stone was kept by Shah Waliullah. The second stone was jihad movement that was kept by Shaheed Barelvi. After Shaheed Barelvi, it continued. But jihad movement failed because of our own thing, because of our own people. History would have been different if our own people would not have cheated on us. Inshallah, in the next class, I am going to discuss about the failure of jihad movement, that why jihad movement of Shaheed Barelvi failed. Today we discuss the work, that how he established the jihad movement, how he inspired the people, from whom he was inspired, and what was the purpose of jihad movement, what was the purpose of the mujahideens, why this all was formed, and what were his beliefs. Inshallah, in the next class I am going to discuss why jihad movement failed. Till then, Allah Hafiz, see you inshallah, and keep yourself safe. Allah Hafiz.